What's going on, everyone? LA Sports back with another video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about a ton of things. Jalen Suggs, Scottie Barnes, and Evan Mobley. Of course, all linked to the Toronto Raptors. It's going to be a long video, so buckle in. Before I start, I want to say, if you guys are interested in buying or selling sports cards, mainly buying, let me know down below in the comments or in the description of the video. DM me on Instagram or check out my eBay. But that's that. Jalen Suggs, he is a terrific player, and the Toronto Raptors, of course, they own the 4th overall pick in the draft. He'll be a perfect match for the Raptors in the backcourt with Fred VanVleet. We all know, we all believe Kyle Lowry is going to be on his way out this offseason. Whether it's a sign and trade or whether he walks, we don't know. But who knows? Maybe he's back. It's unlikely, though. But Jalen Suggs is a perfect match for the Toronto Raptors, and the Toronto Raptors should be taking him on Thursday night's draft. And I think they will. I know there's a lot of talk about, potentially Scottie Barnes, which I'm going to get into a little bit later in the video. But I think there's just too much buzz around Jalen Suggs to the Toronto Raptors. Of course, he's got to be available to get there, but a lot of mocks have him going us. A lot of, reporters are saying, that's who the Raptors should and will take. So overall, I think Suggs is a really fantastic point guard. He can rebound at a pretty effective rate for a smaller point guard, which I think is something the Raptors, they have in Kyle Lowry. No question. That guy's a warrior. He fights for every loose ball. But Jalen Suggs is a guy who can, get a ton of rebounds. He can get you 5, 6 a game, no problem, as a starter. He would be able to give you a couple triple-doubles. His passing is fantastic. His awareness of the floor, his basketball IQ is absolutely unbelievable, especially for a guy of his age. You don't see it too often where, a player coming right out of college has a basketball mind of a veteran. So that's where I think Jalen Suggs is at, and that's why I think the Toronto Raptors should ultimately end up going with Jalen Suggs, and that's why I believe they will end up doing it. And Jalen Suggs will be a Toronto Raptor on draft night, which is Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern time. The next thing I want to get into is Scottie Barnes. Now, there's a lot of buzz and, talk about the Toronto Raptors being interested in Scottie Barnes, potentially, moving back in the draft by 1 or 2 spots to land a good pick to get Barnes. He is just an absolute terrific player. He's versatile. He's big. He's lengthy. His shooting is, something that can be developed with the Toronto Raptors. Like I've said many times before, the Raptors and the Miami Heat have the best development, staff and group in the NBA. I think it's something that could be developed. But Jalen Suggs, who I think the Raptors will go with, and who I think they should go with, is already there in terms of his shooting. So he doesn't need to be developed. But Scottie Barnes is that bigger body that'll push around inside, definitely can grab some rebounds. So ultimately, can I see the Toronto Raptors go trade back to take Scottie Barnes? Sure, I could see it, but they should not take him at number 4. And I don't think they will. I think if they take Scottie Barnes, they'll move back to 5 or 6. And if Jalen Green is the one that's sitting at 4 instead of Jalen Suggs or Evan Mobley, I 100% see the Toronto Raptors moving back in the draft to take Scottie Barnes. So it'll be interesting to see what Masai Ujiri does, but he has been someone that, isn't shy of making the uncalled for and the, the bold decision when it comes to drafting, when it comes to trading, all that stuff. So maybe we'll see a trade back for the Raptors, a surprise trade back. I think they're going to stay put and take Jalen Suggs in the end, but I think this is all something to look out for, as the Raptors have significant interest in Scottie Barnes. All right, guys, the last thing I want to talk about is Evan Mobley. He, of course, is projected to go number 2 overall. He is the center, which the Raptors, I guess you could say that that's the dream scenario. He falls to 4, and we take him there, but that won't happen. Could the Raptors trade up to get him, especially if he falls to number 3? Of course they can. Masai Ujiri, like I said, he does some bold moves, but I think, in the end, whatever the Raptors do, I think it will be, valued by their fans. The fans will support it. And I think Evan Mobley would be pretty much a match made in heaven for the Raptors. But ultimately, I think it's a lot more likely that they trade back than trade forward. But Evan Mobley went on to say they're a good player development organization, which was what I was saying. When players get there, they get better, and it's a great city and all that. I feel like overall there are a lot of different teams that have the aspect, and Toronto is definitely a good team that does a lot of player development. So he obviously, would like the idea of going to the Toronto Raptors, and especially when, there's a team like the Raptors in the top 5. They had a tough year, but they're going to be right back in the pack next season. So a team like, Houston is still ways away. Same thing with Cleveland and, of course, the Pistons. So I think, Evan Mobley, he knows he's going top 4, top 5, and I think he would ultimately want to go to Toronto way more than he would want to go to any of the other of the teams in the top 5. But, I thought it was interesting. I think he's, kind of putting some respect with Toronto, something that we don't really get from players and fans in the United States. So it'll be interesting to see what the Toronto Raptors do on draft night, but ultimately, in the end, I think they will be going Jalen Suggs, and it's going to be interesting to see what they do. I think it's going to be the right move, whatever ends up happening, for the long-term plans of the team. Another important thing, of course, is Masai Ujiri, but I think he will, I think this week he's going to make a lot of progression in his contract talks. I think it kind of needs to happen. I think it will. And I'm excited for Thursday night's 8 p.m. Eastern NBA draft. You guys let me know what you think the Raptors are going to do. Who are they going to take? I think they're going Jalen Suggs. You guys let me know down below in the comments. And as always, please leave a like on the video or subscribe to the channel if you're new. We'll see you guys in the next video.